Was Ashoka merely a merciless tyrant who got tired of bloodshed? Or was he always a visionary, struggling to emerge? Did he murder his way to the throne? Or was he just a product of his time? In this video, we dive into these mysteries and more, discovering a man whose journey from cruelty to compassion still speaks to our deepest struggles today. This isn't just history, it's a blueprint for transformation. Imagine a ruler so feared that his very name struck terror across an entire continent. His empire was massive, his ambition relentless, and his methods deadly. Alexander the Great's campaigns had shaken the foundations of northern India, setting the stage for ambitious rulers like Ashoka. Amid Rome's rise and the clash of ancient empires, one man in India was determined to make his mark. Ashoka the Great, emperor of the Maurya dynasty, once stood as a symbol of ruthlessness and relentless ambition. But then, everything changed. What would drive a conqueror, feared by millions, to look in the mirror and question everything he'd built with bloodshed? This is the story of Ashoka's transformation, from a violent ruler to a revered sage, a journey that still resonates today. Through his life, we'll uncover timeless lessons that challenge us to ask, can we really change? And if we do, what kind of world can we create? Before the wise and enlightened Ashoka, we remember today, there was another man entirely. Young Ashoka was not the kind ruler of legend. He was a prince who clawed his way to power, not through charisma or clever counsel, but with sheer brutality. As the youngest of many siblings, he wasn't the obvious choice for the throne. When his elder brother Susima threatened his ambitions, Ashoka showed no mercy, reportedly leveraging Greek mercenaries to seize power, plunging the empire into a bloody civil war. This dark phase earned him the infamous title Chandashoka, Ashoka the cruel or the fierce. Stories of his cruelty spread like wildfire. Tales of his Ashoka's hell, a prison rumored to be a place of unimaginable torture, were whispered in fear throughout the land. He ruled with an iron fist, unyielding and unmerciful. And yet, somewhere within him, small seeds of change were being sown. In his role as governor of Ujjain, Ashoka encountered Buddhism through his wife, Devi, whose teachings offered glimmers of a different path. His mother's devotion to the Ajivika sect, a philosophy closely aligned with Buddhist values, also likely stirred his curiosity about spirituality. The Ashoka of this period was ruthless, but cracks in his harsh exterior hinted at an eventual transformation. His journey toward peace may have begun earlier than history credits him, suggesting his story is far richer than just a single turning point.
Wait, so Ashoka, the symbol of peace, started as a backstabbing, ruthless prince who enjoyed a little genocide on the side? What a character arc.
Right? It's the original rags to riches story, except with a lot more blood. From ruthless tyrant to spiritual icon. Who saw that coming?
The infamous Kalinga War was a defining moment in Ashoka's life, forever altering the course of his rule. After years of conquest, he set his sights on Kalinga, a prosperous region that symbolized both economic gain and military challenge. But the battle would take an unimaginable toll. The sheer magnitude of death and destruction left Ashoka shaken to his core. Ashoka's remorse over Kalinga is legendary. His edicts following the war express a profound sorrow, a desire to make amends, and an earnest embrace of nonviolence. However, historians debate whether this transformation was solely emotional or partly strategic. The spread of these edicts in far-flung regions hints that Ashoka was also concerned with his reputation, perhaps recognizing that compassion could solidify his power more than sheer force ever could. Interestingly, Kalinga held strategic value as well, its trade routes critical to the Mauryan Empire. This has led some to question whether his remorse was entirely heartfelt, or if there was also an element of political pragmatism. Regardless, it was clear that Ashoka was emerging from the dark shadow of his past, searching for a new way to rule, one that could offer redemption both to himself and his empire.
So, was Kalinga Ashoka's Great Awakening, or just a strategic PR move?
Maybe a little of both. Sometimes doing good also means looking good. Or maybe he just realized killing wasn't as satisfying as he thought.
The ultimate midlife crisis. Trade in bloodshed for some inner peace.
Ashoka's conversion to Buddhism wasn't just personal, it became the backbone of his rule. He championed a concept he called Dharma, an ethical code promoting nonviolence, compassion, and respect. While inspired by Buddhism, his Dharma reached beyond religious boundaries, attempting to unify his people under shared values. Ashoka's efforts extended to promoting welfare, animal rights, and social harmony. But his Dharma wasn't simply spiritual idealism, it was also political strategy. He appointed officials, known as Dhamma Mahamatras, whose role was to enforce moral conduct and spread his message across all communities, ensuring loyalty from every corner of the empire. In this way, Ashoka managed to integrate his newfound spirituality with the practical needs of a vast and diverse empire. Yet, despite his public embrace of nonviolence, Ashoka still relied on force when necessary. Reports of selective persecution of rival groups and religions reveal the complexities of his rule. His Dhamma was a noble vision, but one balanced by the sometimes harsh reality of maintaining control.
So, Ashoka, the enlightened ruler, was also a bit of a dictator on the side.
Pretty much, preaching peace with one hand, holding power with the other. Kind of the ultimate benevolent dictator, right?
Benevolent. With a hint of my way or the highway. Guess some things never change.
Though often remembered as a golden age, Ashoka's reign was not without strife. His devotion to Buddhism and extensive building projects, pillars, stupas, and social programs strained the empire's resources. Additionally, his reforms clashed with traditional religious practices. His ban on animal sacrifice and restrictions on certain groups, like the Ajivikas, stirred resentment among religious factions, fracturing the unity he so carefully sought. As these tensions grew, so did opposition. Gradually, some provinces drifted from central control, with regions like Kalinga reclaiming independence. Ashoka's desire to shape his empire into a harmonious society was noble, yet the rapid changes proved destabilizing. The administrative reshuffling to enforce Dhamma may have weakened traditional authority, unsettling nobles and undermining long-standing power structures. In many ways, Ashoka's idealism was his greatest strength and his greatest flaw. His vision of a peaceful empire would struggle against the very forces of human nature and political reality, leaving his successors with an empire less stable than he'd intended.
So, Ashoka's grand vision kind of backfired.
Yeah, well, changing the world isn't easy. And radical transformation? That rarely goes down without a fight.
Lesson learned. People don't like being forced into enlightenment.
For centuries after Ashoka's death, his memory faded into obscurity. It wasn't until British archaeologist James Prinsep deciphered the Brahmi script in the 19th century that Ashoka's legacy was uncovered. His edicts, inscribed on rocks and pillars, revealed the complex character behind the Buddhist myths. A ruler who sought peace, but didn't shy away from power. A man who used moral authority to govern, yet grappled with the demands of control. Today, Ashoka is seen as a beacon of ethical governance. His lion emblem and the Dharma wheel remain national symbols of India, testament to his lasting influence. Ashoka's transformation from cruelty to compassion stands as one of history's great redemptions, a reminder of humanity's capacity for profound change, even in the most hardened souls. In his journey, we find not just an ancient ruler, but a timeless lesson. Power tempered by compassion, strength governed by wisdom. Ashoka's life urges us to remember that even in a world filled with conflict, we each have the potential to choose peace.
So, the tyrant becomes the hero, huh? Got to love a redemption arc.
Exactly. History loves a comeback story, and Ashoka's is about as big as they come.
Ashoka's story is about more than just a powerful ruler. It's about the courage to transform. His life is proof that anyone, no matter their past, can choose a new path. His principles of Dharma, compassion, tolerance, and nonviolence, encourage us to look within and ask, how can we contribute to a better world? Ashoka's journey reminds us that change, though often difficult, is within our grasp. And in a world that sometimes feels divided, his message of unity and empathy is more relevant than ever. Join us on an epic journey through time as we explore the lives and legacies of some of history's most legendary leaders, where we offer a deep dive into the figures who shaped the ancient and classical world. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more historical adventures, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode.